Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon, Dr. Marshall.
You guys, you really, come on, this is not cool. You can't just say what's up. Good afternoon, seriously. Cool. You got to understand that the reason why I show up here is really for you. I get something from it because I get to do something good in my life today after 23 years of being out there on the streets. You know what I mean? So anybody here I've never seen or met before? My name is Dr. Keith Marshall. I'm a doctor of clinical psychology. I'm also certified in addictions treatment. I'm not going to tell my story today, but I will always bring my book with me because it's pretty much my life. This book here is called Fear to Freedom, From Dumpster to Doctor. That's a true story, and that's me on the front of the cover. And this is Factors of Transformation, Be the Change You Want. These are two books that came out of my life based on my journey. So just my long story short, for anybody new, I recovered from 23 years of addiction, being shot in the head, living behind dumpsters, living in abandoned buildings, sleeping in subways, sleeping on the street, stabbed multiple times, you name it, it happened. By the grace of God, when I overcame my addiction back in 2006, I was able to put myself through school for 10 years to become a doctor of psychology, but it was a journey before then. I didn't recover until I was 40. 40, okay? And I didn't go back to school until I was 43. So I'm 61 today. And by the grace of God, I know that I have more days behind me than I have in front of me. So when I say doctor of psychology, understand there's no pretentiousness with it, meaning like, look at me, it's not about that. This is probably the journey God had me and sent me on. So I'm here for a reason. I'm not here to entertain you. For what? I'm here to hopefully inspire you because does anybody know can't nobody change you? Does anybody know that's true? Mm-hmm. Why is that true?
Because only you can change yourself.
Yeah, why is it only you can do it? Why isn't it truthfully? Why can't nobody change you?
Mindset of your own actions.
All right, you're in control of your own actions. Go ahead, somebody said it. You have the power of choice, which is in your mind, right?
Free will.
And you have the free will, right? Meaning nobody can tell you how to think, nobody can tell you how to feel, and nobody can tell you how to behave. And this is what we're going to talk about today, changing unhealthy behaviors, because if nobody in here has used or drank today, and I hope they haven't, then using and drinking in this moment really ain't the problem. You may need to learn about what alcohol does to your brain, and we do that in classes when I come here. You may learn about the biology, if you will, of the brain, and you will, with me, you learn the biology, because it's good to recognize what happens to me when I drink or take a fix or hit or pill. Why is it that my brain is wired in such a way that my neurotransmitters, instead of giving me normal feelings of pleasure, my body or my brain, that pleasure reward system overreacts and overstimulated? There's some reason to that. There's science to it. So we get it. Most of you in here are probably genetically, like myself, predisposed to becoming addicted. Now, with the addiction aside, when I look back on my life, I realized that I had problems well before even using my first drink, taking my first hit. I had a problem living with myself. The book is titled Fear to Freedom, and it's not freedom from addiction by the grace of God. That's a good thing. I don't have to take a hit no more today, and I'm relieved of the obsession. But the freedom is from the bondage of myself. How many of you guys are disturbed right now, restless, irritable, discontent right now with your life? Come on, tell some truth here.
Yeah, we just worked an 8-hour shift.
Okay, all right, okay. God bless you. I've been in 3 Salvation Armies, and I get it. A long day. How many of you prayed this morning for help? To God, say, just help me, give me some faith today. And maybe you didn't. What part of me being here, me being used, isn't part of your prayer? Most of us will pray if we do believe it. I've heard this many times, that we believe that the Creator is going to come down here and do everything for us. That's a lie. Then why did he give me power, free will, and the ability to look at my behaviors, whether I like to look at them or not, and actually the ability to change them? Now, if you don't believe in a higher power, fine. Let's put some principles to play. The principles of recovery tell us we need what? Faith and courage to change. What does faith and courage mean? Somebody real quickly. Come on, what does faith mean?
To believe.
Believe what?
Something you don't know.
Why does it have, okay, to believe in the power greater than yourself. What about you?
Faith is to believe that something happened before it's already happened.
Believe something happens before it actually happens. So there's some two concepts here that's working cool. Something missing though. Go, what up?
Faith is unquestionable belief into something.
All right, so watch this. I get on my knees. All right, God, your power greater than me. Today, bless me. Help me to be the best me, God. Help me to be the best me. Okay, then I get up. All right, I believe what I said. Help me to be the best me. And then all of a sudden, I walk all through my day. I'm restless. I'm irritable. I'm discontent. What part of God is in that? Hold on. No, come on. Answer the question. What part of God is in that?
No.
So is God creating your restlessness, irritability, and discontentment?
No.
Who's creating it?
I am.
How?
Because I'm being in a negative mind state.
What else? What else could be some of the things that I could be?
Environment that you're in. What about your environment, that,
Well, okay, all right. So what about your environment? Let's say if I was in a war and they prepared me for war, right? And guys, I'm gonna tell you something. Life is kind of like war out here. And I get prepared. I'm loaded up. I'm locked and loaded. I got my bayonet. I got everything I need, and then I'm placed in war. Now the environment changes, right? So what happens with your environment? Okay, so you're in a new environment, but you're in the morning, you're praying and you're asking God to help you. Explain to me when you're at the end of the day, I worked all day, I complained all day, I don't like the food, the hot dog wasn't hot, the coffee's no good. All these things happen.
You're not grateful. You're out of gratitude.
What I'm trying to challenge you, I respect the fact that you just worked all day. But check this out, my friend. I worked all day, went to Laverne, changed my clothes, turned around, came back out here. And the only compensation I get is air. And you know what? I'm grateful for the air. I did that because I love you. You may say, what do you mean you love me? Fool, how you know you love me? Because the reality, my love has nothing to do with what I say, everything to do with what I do. Because I'm grateful to be where I am today, not pretentious and hey, look at me. I'm grateful to not be behind a dumpster. And because of that gratitude, I'm daily practicing. Now, I don't got it all made, practicing to be a better man before I leave here. Because I know what it's like to be that other man. To rob, steal, cheat, lie. To some degree, I'm a lie today. And pray that God will relieve me of that so I can make it right. So when we talk about faith, understand you guys said some great things, but if there's no actions to prove that you believe in where you're going, then your faith is precarious at best, meaning it doesn't really mean nothing. It's just a concept. It's just words. Because if your actions aren't backing up, like you got your prayer this morning, and then now today, at the end of the day, you don't believe that God set it up for you to go work over there at the Salvation Army. Oh, you believe you set that up, huh? You don't believe that the creator of the universe told the judge to go ahead and give you a nudge and say, no, not state pen this time, to take yourself to the Salvation Army. Oh, you think you did that?
Yeah, we did by signing that paper.
Oh, you did that by signing the paper. Okay, stick with me for a minute. None of you created today. I didn't create today. None of you created how the day is going to go about. I didn't create the day. The problems that I have today are usually because I can't accept life on life's terms. I can't accept the fact that I was facing 3 years, and this is true, facing three years in the state pen, then already been in jail, then already done all that, facing 3 years, and the judge said, we're going to give you one more chance, do 6 months in the Salvation Army, and I decided it's better to take that choice because, first of all, if you down county jail, if you down Men's Central, most of us hope we can catch a chain out of there quick. That's number one. Catch a chain to go to another jail, and we call that some relief. That's the best we could think of. But you wait, man, I'm just trying to catch a chain, man. I want to get up out of here because I'm at Men's Central. Then you get up there, then you got to get in and fit in where you get in and fit in. You're still locked up. So now you get a choice to come to the Salvation Army of America. And now you got to rack some clothes. You ain't had no discipline. You ain't had no order, no structure, no nothing in your life. And then while you racking clothes or stacking trucks, man, I don't know what you're doing. They getting my labor for free, man. They doing this and just complaining and not looking at it after your prayer this morning. God help me. And he said, okay, no problem. I'm going to put these things in front of you. Can you show some integrity? Can you show some gratitude? Can you show some thankfulness that even though you got to load that truck, I set that up for you to teach you how to be disciplined again. I set that up for you so that when you get that new job or you become that CEO or that president, you understand the value of hard work, even though You couldn't pull that off by yourself before. So you complain all day, get off, and then Dr. Marshall comes in here and try to motivate you to stay steady and stay. And I don't know who you are, but there's one of you in here. Man, shut up. I don't want to hear this. Let me just go get whatever food they got today. I'm on my way. Well, I know you. That's why I'm here. I'm here for two people. And there may be a bunch of y'all. I'm here for the one that really wants to be inspired to move because they tired of their life. And I'm here for a hater too. I got a chapter on haters. I was a hater. I know what the hater is. That's the guy that character assassinates me because I used to character assassinate you. And you know what I found out? Can I let y'all know something? Yeah. This is going to blow you away. I found out that when I was hating and being jealous and envious of another human being, when I looked in the mirror, I didn't like what I saw. And I didn't like what I saw because I didn't practice the courage and faith to make something out of my life in the right way. So I needed to assassinate your life because you keep reminding me that I'm not living my life. That's heavy. I'll let y'all hold on to that. So we're going to talk about behaviors because when you put drugs and alcohol to the side, you are left with the problem. What's that?
My head.
What's the problem? It's your head?
The way I think.
The way you think.
Everything else.
All right, so for the person in here who truly said they have faith or is asking God to help them, if you've fallen asleep, practice some courage and stand up. And know that my time is valuable, so I showed up here for you today. And your time is valuable. You need to show up for yourself. Let's start there. Let's start right there. No, I'm not talking to you. It's a few. It's a few. You all right? If it don't apply, let it fly.
Well, you said to stand up.
If you falling asleep, you on my time right now, and I'm on your time. Your time is valuable, and so is mine. So stand up. Show some courage. You might hear something that might deliver you. If it don't do it today, it'll be a seed that'll plant and it'll go forth. Because I'm not here by accident. Remember my life. I choose to be here today. But in reality, I'm motivated by my Creator to be here today. So it's not a game for me. Your life. Go ahead.
Are you really asking us to stand up, or is that like a figure of speech?
No. What I'm saying is that when I used to lay back in the cut, somebody would show up, they're talking, they're trying to help, they're trying to teach. I kind of fall asleep. And then one day in my recovery process, I had a mentor wake me up and she said, man, look, you might hear something that you might miss. You might miss something that you need to hear.
Don't miss a miracle.
Stand up if you're falling asleep. This is about your life. And so from that point forward, I always paid attention to that. Wherever I go, if I don't have the strength to stay awake, I just stand up and it'll force me to listen to what I need to listen to. All right? So that's what I mean by it. Okay? If you can pay attention. All right. So we're going to talk about behaviors. I want to throw out another word. So we're going to be, remember, so we're going to talk about faith. For somebody that doesn't believe in a higher power, you can still practice faith. It's called a principle. You can believe in something that you want to do. You can believe in something you want to have. And then while you're believing in what you want to do and what you have, you're working towards it. How many of you really trying to change your life? Okay. And the ones that didn't raise your hand, there's a reason why you didn't raise your hand, whether it's a Freudian thing or some resistant type thing. The truth is, there's a reason for everything you do or not do. If you want to change your life, then you have to be intentional. Intentional. Anybody understand what I mean to be intentional?
Do things on purpose.
Doing things on purpose. So guess what? I racked clothes all day. I unloaded the trucks. I'm just being figurative here. I'm tired. I don't want to listen to Urine. I don't want to listen to the so-called shot callers at the desk. I don't want to listen to nobody. I want to go to the bathroom, take a shower if I want, and I want to eat. That's it. I want you out of here, fool. I get that. But the truth is, if I'm intentional, that means that if God got this last thing for me to do today, and I'm real tired, guess where the blessing is? The blessing ain't in when it's feeling comfortable. Now I got something for every one of you in here. If you want to be blessed, understand that the blessing comes when you're uncomfortable. The blessing comes when you're challenged. So if you don't feel like listening, that's where the blessing is. I'm going to listen anyway. If you don't feel like doing it, that's where the blessing is. I'm going to do it anyway. It ain't the mushy, everything is peachy cream, and now I'm just going to go ahead and bless you. No, it costs you something. It costs you smashing your ego and smashing your pride. That's how you get your deliverance. Not by what you think you need to do, because I couldn't pull it off on my best day. So you want to be blessed and you want to experience the blessing when you are very uncomfortable and you can practice the integrity to do what you need to do for you to show love to yourself first. And love ain't got nothing to do with, oh, I feel so good, hey, coochie. That ain't got nothing to do with love. It's doing the right thing for the right reason to promote a better life for yourself. And the only way to do that for yourself is to create a new way of thinking. And you can't think new if you refuse to listen to something coming in to challenge where you are right now.
Amen, Doc.
Come on.
Right? You can't. If you think you have the solution, you know you got the solution, and you close-minded to a new solution, you won't change. Your behaviors won't change. Go ahead.
That's why you have to be willing, you have to be open-minded, and you have to be honest.
See how you caught? You see how you caught that? You see how those seeds are planted in your head? Those are all truths. Because if I'm not willing, I won't listen. I'm not saying perfect. Guys, let's take the word perfect out. Perfect out. We're talking about practicing. I practice today, meaning guess what I do? I fall, I make mistakes, I lie sometimes, all the things that humans do. I'm just not grabbed. They don't have a hold on me anymore, and I don't take them into the next year. I want to resolve things today because of the conviction piece. That's all. That's the only thing different, is that I feel bad today about stuff where I didn't feel bad before. Right? That means, but see, I'm going to announce this, so for anybody that I believe in the blood of Christ. I do. Not because you preached to me. Not because the captain preached to me. Not because of T.D. Jakes. Not because of the Pope. None of that. Because God found me where I was. And he did something for me that I know no man could. And that's why I believe in Christ. That's why I believe I'm forgiven, so I don't walk around in condemnation. So I want to make that clear. And I do not apologize for my belief. All right. Let's go. What is your motivation? Somebody read extrinsic. I think that's the next one. All right. I think we did this once a long while ago. Okay. Let's go. What does it mean? Somebody read this on your list. Somebody read out loud. Go ahead. Name all of them.
1, family relationship disruptions. 2, employment. 3, legal. 4, avoiding negative consequences. Always environmentally stimulated and can be
Precarious,
but can still influence motivation to become intrinsic. You do the activity in order to get an external reward in return.
Okay, can anybody just kind of conceptualize this? Meaning, can you put this in the thinking? What is this really saying? Because there's two types of motivation. If you want to change in this room, there's two types. One type really sticks and helps that change to be sufficient. This type, go ahead.
Oh, well, my main motivation to change is for myself first, but then my wife and my kids.
Okay, so that's an external piece. Why is it external? Because it's not, you can't think for your wife and you can't think for your kids, but you could desire to have better for them. So some of you guys in here, how many of you guys in here can identify with any of these external realities? Why you're here to help? Come on, guys, come on. How many can identify with legal problem? Who has a legal problem? All right, let's make it clear. Who's got a nudge from the judge? Raise your hand. All right. Okay. So you got a nudge from those. So that's external. Who really just wants to keep avoiding negative consequences? How many of you watch this? And I'm gonna show you something. How many of you? Now let's keep it real. How many of you would get high right now? Hold on. If you knew this, I could have fun. I could keep money in my pocket. I never gonna have no consequences or issues, and I could just escape when I want. How many of you would still be getting high right now?
Keep my family in.
Hold on. Now let's see some truth here. You get to keep everything. And the ones you didn't raise your hand, I really wish I could have a private one-on-one with you, because I could tell you right now. Right, because the reality of it, some of us are here because we keep getting in trouble. We take a hit, we break out in handcuffs. We take a hit, we sleep behind a dumpster. We take a hit, we end up in jail. We take a hit, We go in the bank account. Oh, what bank account?
Somebody else's.
We take a hit. The car I got, oh no, it belongs to the drug dealer. We take a hit. Oh, I forgot. I can't take her to the movies next week. You know what I'm saying? The reality of it, most of us are here. A lot of us there have extrinsic motivation. We're doing it not for the right reason, but we're doing it for a reason, which means that if you're here and you're open-minded enough, you can still get the value of changing your life. Otherwise, some of y'all just, man, I got 14 in the wake up, dog. What's up you got, bro? I got 13 in the wake up, dog. You want to hurry up and get up out of here, and you don't even have a plan. And then they're trying to help you get a plan, but you just going along with the program. Y'all missed that one too. Go ahead.
That's why it's very important for us all to get our foundation very firm.
Oh,
Right.
come on, MGK.
So what that foundation for you may be for you. But if there's room for you to grow spiritually, grow. If there's room for you to eat and get healthy and drink water and sleep, then do that. If there's room for you to show gratitude, then do that. Because some of you right now, right in your head, are complaining right now because life is not going the way you want it. Now I got some really bad news for you, but it could be good news. You want to hear it?
Sure.
No,
It's going to be the most honest thing that I can tell you.
when I've ever taken.
I hope you can handle it. You don't have a lock on time. Take a breath. Everybody take a breath. Let it out. That's gone. You can't get that back. You got this moment. You can't get it back after the next one. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, so change is what? Inevitable. You got to be ready for it. Somebody said something about the environment. Well, guess what? The environment will change as soon as you get up. By the grace of God, get up and walk out the door. I don't care if it's your work environment that you're used to. Something different is going to always keep happening. So is it the environment that's the problem, or is it my inability to accept me in the environment just the way that I was designed to be? And if I was designed to be something, am I being it, or am I getting high to avoid it?
I used to get how to avoid it.
That too. There's a lot of meat on that bone.
I think that was a lot of meat on that bone. That was a lot. That was a lot of meat. For the guys that like me that said, and this is my truth, if I could have got high, got my little girl thing going on with the girl, had some money in my pocket, get my bills paid, electric paid, gas paid, cupboards full, now I had no issues, kept my family intact, me and God wouldn't have had no conversation, brother. So God, when he put me behind this dumpster, do you understand the uncomfortability of doing this with no shoes? Why do you think I had no shoes on?
You sold them for crack.
I sold them for crack. That's right. I had to get a hit. And the hit was over in what? 2 seconds. Because that's all it was a $2 hit for a $10, $20 pair of Chucks at the time. Right? But this was where my blessing was. Nobody understands that. This is where the blessing was, in the pain. Because I cried out to God in pain to deliver me from myself. And I stopped asking him to do what I wanted him to do and asked him to do for me what I couldn't do for myself.
You're sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Go ahead.
No, like I'm saying, you say you don't understand that, but personally, I do have an understanding that in times of despair is when I've been most connected to God. Not in places like this. Not to say I'm not spiritually connected, but there were moments where I actually thought about it as it was when I was going through stuff. Not because I was saying why God, all I was, but at the same time, you're kind of going through it in a lesson that he's giving you. You're learning to appreciate those hard times and to build the strength that you can feel now.
Just to make it clear, I didn't say you know one
No,
did or
no,
didn't.
that's why
I appreciate, when I tell my story, my hope is that it connects to somebody. And if it doesn't connect to you, I'm hoping that at some point that if you didn't get to this point, you don't need to go to that point. It might be enough information in the fact that we might be alike in so many ways that if he got to that point, I'm gonna get this together now. I'm gonna complete this program. How many understand that the Creator is a creator of completion? He ain't confused. So if you leave here early, let me make this really clear. I want every man to look in my eyes so I know I said my assignment if I go to heaven tomorrow, because I'm going to heaven. Wake him up. I lost my train of thought.
Look at your eyes.
Let you say your side now.
I lost my train of thought.
Go do your part.
The part I'm going to tell you, man, is that you are really, I forgot my train of thought, so let me just get back to where the Spirit's leading me. The bottom line is I'm here for a reason and you're here for a reason. Oh, God is not a God, my creator. You believe he's not a confused God. He knew what he was doing when he made me. He had to. I didn't make myself, so he had to know what his plan was, right? I know this. He don't have me start something and not finish. So if you hear, I don't care if the judge signed off on you to save you from Soledad, Cochran, or any of them, Chino, any of them. That means God used that judge to give you some grace, to give you another chance to maybe to hear somebody like me, maybe to hear a counselor, a leader like Irene. Maybe God is using these situations to help you so that because you can't help yourself. So he would never tell you to come in here and start. And then in 30 days, oh man, I got some checks coming in I heard about. Oh, you know what? Hey, Urine, everything is cool. I'm good. I got it together. I did some push-ups. I ate some tacos. I ate some chili. I'm good right now. Everything is feeling good. I talked to baby on the phone. She told me, hey, I love you. She's listening to all these magnificent plans I made. I got a check for about $16,000 coming in from a settlement. I'm in the Salvation Army, and I'm fixed now.
What the hell are you doing?
Hold on, I'm fixed. God, thank you for your help. I don't need you no more.
You reading my mail?
I know you set the Salvation Army up. I know they have a 6-month to a year structured program, God. I thank you. I bow to you on that. But now, God, I got a $16,000 check coming in. The girl that is mad at me, she's cool with me right now. We miss each other. I truly have learned from my actions. But the program is structured for 6 months. And you don't know in the 5th month what God is going to give you. You don't know, as a matter of fact, check this out, partner. You don't know on day 179 what miracle might be waiting for you because you decided to book and leave on 130. And you said, God, help me. And he's listening to you. And you got up and you prayed. And you said, man, I got 16,000 waiting for me. The girl is ready. I'm ready. Man, what's the difference between a week? 5 days and 175 days. The program is structured, it says, 180 days.
All that's materialistic stuff that the devil can use against you to get you to go back out.
Well, you could call it the devil, right? That's cool. You can be tempted, or you could call it just your own unwillingness to change. Oh, this went out. To change, no signal. To change your behavior. Because remember, it's about behaviors. The point I'm making is this. The Creator made you, the Creator knows what's good for you. And someone said, well, why would the Creator allow me, I'm pointing to me, to be sexually abused? Why would the Creator allow me to be physically abused? Why would the Creator allow me to get shot in the head? Why would he allow me to be stabbed? Why would he allow me to get addicted? I was just trying something out. I didn't try to grow up and say, hey, God, let me be a crackhead and a drug addict and a meth addict and try heroin and all this other stuff. I didn't ask for that. Why?
Free will.
Well, not only free will, because I guess if you really kind of look at me today and you look at me there, it may not have been the way I wanted it to go, but I'm far past where I was, far in better condition than where I was, have things in my life that never made any sense. So I don't, and guess what? The best of it all, I'm standing right here in front of you guys today, having something good to say for a change, being used for something good today for a change, and none of you guys are a mark to me today. Anybody know what a mark is?
Punk ass name.
I got an intention to get something from you. If you got something I want, my intention, you the mark, is to get something from you. Whether it's emotional, financial, you're a dude, so I don't want nothing physical, right? That's just my thing. I like girls, and it's okay if you like guys. I'm not judging here. But it was either financial, mental, is what it was. If you was a girl, it was financial, mental, physical, emotional, everything you could think of. right? I don't have any marks today. I just want to be a little bit different today than I was yesterday. So recovered. So if your motivations are truly from the outside, if you're only here to satisfy a court order, if you're only here to make sure that your wife or your girlfriend or your boyfriend, whatever floats your boat, things that you were doing okay, that will not stick when the environment changes. Because as soon as the environment changes, if you're shaking, you will shake, you will get shook, and you will run.
That's where your foundation has to be strong.
So if you're here because you want to save your family, that's a great challenge. That's a great thing to do. But use it now to change you. All right? So let's go to the other one. Somebody read these four. Go ahead. What is your motive? This one is called intrinsic. Somebody read that out loud.
Negative feeling. Go ahead.
What is your motivation?
Hold on, one person. Go ahead.
Go for it.
1. Negative feelings, hopelessness, despair, guilt, shame, etc. 2. Recognition. 3. Cooperative. 4. Attitude. 5. Curiosity. 6. Doing it without any obvious external rewards such as money or status. 5. Biological needs and or dysfunctions, survival. You do the activity because it's internally rewarding. You may do it because it's fun, enjoyable, and satisfying.
All right, we got to break this up because that biological piece is something I want to make sure that you hit. So can anybody understand that the things on the inside are on the inside, right? I can't give you recognition. You have to recognize. Does that make any sense? You have to recognize the need for it. I could tell you talk about recognition all day, but if you want to make a change in your life, your motivation is I want to recognize. You'll start to recognize why you need change. That's why recovery is an introspective process. That's why the fourth step or anything that looking at self is to do what? Introspect, retrospect, inspect, and realize what I need to change.
Inspect, reflect, correct.
Right? Because I can't correct it. I can't correct. That's why I'm going to have a list of behaviors. I can't correct and change my behaviors if I continually stand in the land of denial, justifying why I want to do it, why I'm going to do it, and why I don't need to listen to what I need to do to make changes for myself. Right? So curiosity is intrinsic. I'm curious about what it would be not smoking dope anymore. I'm curious what it would be like to plan to go to a movie next week with your friend, and guess what, guys? Actually pull it off. I'm curious to know what it's like to put money in the bank, write a check, and actually know that the check is going to, people would tell me all day, all I need is a check. Cool, I can write you a check, and I did that all day. Somebody just didn't tell me to put the money in the bank. That was my life in the beginning. I got spared from check fraud. People just, hey, man, we take checks. Oh, no problem. I got a checkbook. Write you a check. What do you need? 50, 100? No problem. But what I didn't do was recognize the value of integrity to have money in the bank. And it wasn't because I was such a bad person. It was that crack and crack addiction had another agenda.
That's real talk.
Right? My addiction had another agenda. But I didn't realize that my addiction was still associated to everything about me that I wouldn't see, wouldn't do, wouldn't be, because I was afraid to look at me. I was afraid. And I think some of you might be afraid to look at yourself. That's up to you, and that's between you and God. Okay, when we talk about biological needs, what do you think this means? Because if you're intrinsically motivated, there's some biological needs if you're an addict or an alcoholic that you need to consider. What would they be? Because some of you will feel sick. Some of you will want to know, why am I doing this? Go ahead.
Being depressed, anxiety, bipolar.
Okay, so all right, so there's some mental health issues. There's some mental health issues related to this ideal that I need to change and I need to focus, right? All right, so that is an intrinsic piece. But what are the other biological factors? What are the other things to consider? Because remember, we talked about extrinsic motivation. That means that you're going to do it for your sister. Some of you are trying to avoid catching the chain to the pin. Some of y'all trying, just trying to avoid the external consequences. So that got you here. Now you here. We talked about God not making mistakes. So some of y'all might have a check coming up, right? We talked about it, right? Watch this. $19,000, but this is a 6-month program. And in 2 months, all of a sudden, you and God now have another conversation. Thank you, but I'm not going to complete, as though that God wouldn't know what he was doing to put you here and expect you to complete. I told you, your deliverance is not in all the mushy goody stuff. Your deliverance is in when it's hard, it feels difficult, and when you don't feel like pushing on, that's where God will come in if you can get out the way. He ain't coming into the way you believe it's going to happen. So if you're here for 6 months and you got here a month, and you and your girlfriend, y'all talking, y'all got it going on the phone now, she telling you, baby, I can't wait to see you when you get home. She said, we also got some money in the mail. Everything is good. But you got 3 more months left. You think God changed his mind, or did you change yours?
You change yours.
And what did I say? This is a 180-day program. God might know your ego. No, I believe he knows your ego enough to say, I'm going to watch you to day 179, and you decide I'm leaving on day and say 179, and your miracle was on day 180. The day he said that I want you to leave. So you rob yourself. All right? So that external motivation, understand, can get you here, but it won't keep you here. Like one more example. I remember back in the day, they had telephones. Some of y'all youngsters don't know the little telephone on the wall. Called it the relapse box. So I'm in here 2 weeks, I'm in recovery. I go get on the phone, I'm like talking to baby at home, what's going on, whatever. And she telling me all this good stuff and whatever. And then let's say I'm getting ready to complete the program. So we got day 29. Dude, I'm going to complete. Everything is good. And then I call and say, I'm coming home, everything. And then you get this to say, no, you know what, baby, I was just really thinking about it. As much as I really can't wait for you to get home, I think you might need a little bit more time. I think I may need to stay away and avoid just a little bit longer. But baby, you was telling me you love me. You was telling me you need me. Baby, I was telling you all that. But because I wasn't motivated for self, I got the efforts, I got up, and what you think I went and did? I got one. I took one to the dome. And some of y'all know exactly what I'm talking about, because some of y'all already got a plan already in action right now. Some of y'all got a county check, got a card, not down in it. Remember, I used to get food stamps, all that stuff. Some of y'all got a plan right now. I'm going to put a monkey wrench in your plan. Some of y'all did some push-ups, y'all done ate. You know what I mean? You're going to avoid this. You realize, damn, I got a check coming in next month for a couple $100, some food stamps, a food card, and I already know the dealer I'm going to get. I already know the girl I want, and you already got the plan in motion. I'm getting ready to tell you, if you don't die, you will be back, but it may not be here.
That's some bum shit. Excuse my language.
No, you got to excuse, man, be who you are. Don't think I don't know who you are. I told you I came here for 2 people today. And it may be in the one, it may be a bunch of y'all that God is using me to influence you to get into you so that you can be what you're supposed to be. And then I'm here for the hater, the one like that used to be like me that can only see the flaws in you because I'm too afraid to look at the man in the mirror and see the flaws in me.
Hey, not only that, dog, but all these people gotta understand that, I got 3 homies that are lifers in prison. I got 2 homies that got killed, Like my childhood homies, some of them, I can't even go talk to them because they're life in prison. And it's like, you gotta look at it like you're blessed. It doesn't matter all the fuckery that goes on in here, but what I'm saying is that, like, a lot of people, like you say, they complain about a bunch of stupid shit when in reality we're out here, we're free,
Right. And check it out. Check out the homies in prison. Some of them may, unfortunately, right? God says pray. He says pray for the prisoners for a reason, because some of them he gonna allow to get locked up. But when we go to prison, a lot of us find Jesus, Buddha, and everybody in jail. And as soon as we get out, and about 3 miles to the way home, we got a pocket full of money, and we forgot everything we prayed to get out of. Some of the guys that are in prison, God knows why they're there, and he allowed them to be there. And some still resist to change why they're there, to help the dude that can get out to get out and safely stay out. How about that? How about that? Because so somebody could be a lifer, and they could still be free. I could tell you 2 artists that y'all might think, Whitney Houston and Michael Jackson. Do you think those guys were free? Y'all think having money make you free?
No.
Think about how miserable they were because they couldn't overcome their addiction. You know how it is to take a hit and can't stop. You know how it is to put some money in your drawer. Now think about having access all day. You can just get the dealer to keep coming back and forth. You drink yourself, smoke yourself to death. right? Some of us need what we need to get to where we got to go. God knows exactly what he's doing. So if I don't see some of y'all at the end, if any of y'all leave before next week and you got a couple of months, you're going to have a conversation with God again. Don't worry, he'll wake you up. Okay, the biological needs are this. The intrinsic motivation for your, when you talk about biological piece, when we talk about the pleasure reward system of the brain, when we talk about being depressed and anxious, these are factors that can also force us to what? Want to change our current state. In terminology in the clinical, what they call it, being at homeostasis is kind of just feeling normal. How many of y'all guys just, whatever normal, how many of y'all want to just kind of feel cool, calm, and just okay in your system? None of y'all, all y'all want to be all messed up? Come on, man, participate. Get your hand up. How many of y'all want to feel at peace? And your bodies will feel calm and all that. Well, if your body is in disequilibrium, meaning, let's say you're not eating right, you're not sleeping right, let's say you're not regulating, and here all of you should be regulating the power of feelings, because those feelings will deal with you if you don't deal with it, and I can prove it, because all of you in here, most of you, and because of the consequences of addiction, which means you haven't been regulating, releasing reality. Maybe you've been telling people what you want to tell them, that don't you know who you think I am stuff, but what about the broken person on the inside that's afraid? That's right, don't muscle up, guys. I understand, I get it, right? I get that, I get that. When you're talking about that type of stuff, go ahead.
What you mean is like living in fear or love, right?
Huh?
We're either living in fear or love. Living in love is learning more about ourselves to help change ourselves for the better. And living in fear is like everything that's depressing, everything, like we're just dwelling on everything that's negative.
Right. So there is fear in love. What does fear look like? Everybody in here is afraid of something at some point during the day, even if it's, get acknowledged by somebody. Fear is very relevant in life. It is, but it doesn't mean it has to stunt your life. All those who are standing, I appreciate your courage to stand and not fall asleep on my shot. I appreciate that, because I'm not cool with it anyway. You got to wake up, get up, I'm going to shake you up, because your life is important. Okay, all right, so look. So yes, fear is what got you here. Fear is what kept me where I was. But fear is something you're going to have to embrace for the rest of your life. If you want God to bless you, you have to understand that your whole existence will encompass fear, but you don't have to live in it and you don't have to stay in it. You're going to be afraid of something. Anyone in here who says they're not afraid of something, unfortunately, and you don't have to say anything, you're truly lying to yourself. And then a lot of us are here because we're not just it's not this muscle up fear that I'm talking about, because I could throw a few punches and knock a homie out or something like that. We're not talking about that. I'm talking about looking in the mirror and looking at that guy and saying, damn, you keep robbing people, man. Why? Because, man, I need to have the gold change. I need that. And it's taking too long to get it. Why? Because I'm really afraid to go to school and do it the right way. Why? Because I don't think I can make it.
Oh, damn.
See, when we pick up the mirror, you know how we profile up in the hood, up in jail. Like we got one foot this way, we got one, and we stand like, "What's up, homie? What's up? You good? You good? You good?" I'm already standing in a compromising position right now. Some homie tried to come up and knock me out.
That's not the fighting position, though.
This ain't no fighting position. This is a get straight knocked out position. But I'm cool. I'm cool like that. Yo, what's up? What's up, dog? How y'all doing? What's up? What's good? Right? You know the body language. And I'm right now vulnerable, really, to some fool that understands where power come from, where the punch come from, and just gonna muscle up on it. The fool is gonna go flat out.
Hey, Doc, real quick. That stance that you're doing, that's just scoping the scene, though. You know what I'm saying?
I know it's flossing, brother. It's flossing, Look, don't you know who I am? What's up? What's up, big homie? You good? You good?
I'm good.
Yeah, all right, y'all. What's up? Hey, y'all, man, I want y'all to go get homie. I want y'all to get him. Get him after yard time, get him.
That's what I'm talking about, Doc. That's what I'm talking
You know what I'm saying? You get it? Yeah, man. And then the big homie walk up on me, and I'm standing compromised.
Oh, Trip, I got your back, Doc.
You got my back? But I said, you might have my back, but my back gonna be on the ground. So that's our ego, bro. That's our ego. So biological, we're going to end it on, all right, so when we talk about the biological needs, you have to understand that if you become addicted to a substance, the substance has really changed the way your reward pleasure system works. And it changed something, right? Your dopamine, serotonin, we can get it in the science. And so sometimes when it changes, then I start finding how I compromise my life, and these consequences start to force me to what? Desire change in my life. Okay? So when we talk about, I'm going to point out behaviors next week. Right? I want to thank Shelly, she's a nurse, guys. She's a registered nurse. She's working trauma, ER, and all that. She showed up. She works with me. She's just learning more about the things that she sees in her own life every day. A lot of them end up in the emergency room, and a lot of us. So we're going to focus on behaviors, true behaviors. So just real quick, remember, there's two motivations I want you to remember. You can be externally or extrinsically motivated to do something. That will not stick. So if you get on your knees and pray today, and you got up here at 3 o'clock today and told me how bad things was and how ungrateful things are and how messed up things are, you were externally motivated at first, but intrinsic motivation would find you in a place of gratitude and realizing that where I'm uncomfortable and don't feel like doing it, that's where God does it. All right, I'll see y'all next week.